Good morning. Welcome to the daily levels for Friday, May 10. It's 8:40 a.m. Eastern. The levels you see here on this chart are, of course, what we'll use to trade against in the E-minis today. They're pretty spread apart from high to low. We'll dig into some larger time frames because since it's Friday, the end of the week, and the spiders are at a very important area. They've been climbing for a few weeks now, as you know, and the volumes have been very low. So I think the case can be made that they've been kind of grinding higher on very low institutional participation. On the different indices, they're also at a very important area on their individual charts. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but let's just jump to the weekly chart of the spiders to start with. The first thing I want to point out is the high of this big breakdown candle, which was the week ending the 19th. They got above this not too long ago, and they've been closing above it or have closed above it. The high is 515.30. So that's pretty important. I mean, they're pretty far above it now on the daily chart. I mean, even in the futures last night in the pre-market, they've pushed higher. So at 521.56, something like that right now. Currently, market opens in less than an hour. So, that looks like a pretty far way to fall, long distance to fall to get below this. But if they do close below this, then that could be a bearish sign. And I have that as one of the levels because if they do get down there today, because this has to happen today for that to be important, then there's going to likely be a battle there. But anyway, but just notice the volume pretty low, and they've just been grinding higher on relatively low volume. So the way I see it here on the daily chart, there's all this space where they are right now. Here's current price, and if they get above this, this high here where they fell away way back on April 9, then they've got all this space till they get to the high of this. This is basically the all-time highs at this point, this general area. And on other smaller time frame charts, like the 4-hour, 3-hour, 2-hour chart, it's similar. There's a zone up here. And so, the way they've been moving, very likely anything can happen. They can go this high, they can fall down. But once again, on the daily chart, very, very low volume. And on another tool that I use, it's pretty clear that it's just kind of amateurs. It's basically low lot sizes being traded, pushing this thing up. So is it smart money? I don't know. You tell me. But the point is, it's been grinding higher, and they're at an important area on all the charts, the spiders, the other indexes like the IWM, the Qs, the XLF, the SMH. So I could show other time frames like the 4-hour, the 3-hour, the 2-hour, but they all say pretty much the same thing. So now that you've seen these charts, this is the zone I was talking about up here. This is in the middle, an important area. All the way down here at 515.30 is the high of that weekly candle that they need to stay above on the weekly chart to be strong. I mean, they're above all the moving averages. Everything looks great. But if they fall and get below this, then that could be kind of the shot across the bow. And then everything else, all the other levels are just formula-derived levels that are important in their own right. So after the market closes, we'll come back to this chart, take a look at if any trades happened in the E-minis, if the spiders hit these levels. And as we're closing this up at 8:45 a.m., in the pre-market, the spiders are at 521.55 and presumably climbing. We'll see you after the market closes.